Good morning, everyone. It's New Jersey Garden. It's an October morning, and I have not done a garden tour in quite some time, and I wanted to just show you what the garden looks like in the fall. I have been trying to clear as many leaves as possible. We're here in New Jersey in Zone 6A, and I have a few different garden areas, and this one garden is in the front of the house, and it's underneath some trees, so there's been a lot of leaves blowing around in the wind, and I've been trying to keep up with it. So you may see a lot of leaves scattered in here, but that's what the garden looks like in the fall. So I'll go around and just show you what's in bloom currently. So right now this is something that bloomed earlier in the spring. It's called Maltese Cross, and it has these really pretty orange-red colored blooms. And there's a lot of spring blooming perennials in this flower bed. There's a poppy down here that will bloom in the spring. There's lady's mantle, and here's some catmint that's pretty much blooms all summer long. I cut it back earlier in the spring. There's a lot of daisies in this garden bed, and what I've been doing is planting a lot of the catmint just behind the daisies, because the catmint is a really sturdy plant. As you can see, the stems are pretty thick, and it's not looking so great right now, but in the spring it looks very lovely and very full, and it will support taller plants that flop, such as the daisies that I have. So I've been dividing a lot of the catmint and putting it just behind the daisies, as well as the gladiolus that I have, just to keep my plants upright rather than using stakes. So this lavender came back into bloom. I have some zinnias that are blooming now. Zinnias are one of my favorite flowers. And the butterflies, they're not out. It's early in the morning. There's so many monarch butterflies that seem to love the garden right now. The zinnia is really attractive to the monarch butterfly, as well as swallowtail butterflies. So this lavender is in bloom, reblooming right now. I was just zooming in and out to show you the different zinnias that are popping up over here. There's some blanket flower over there. I mentioned in earlier videos, I'm going to be probably ordering some more blanket flower seeds and planting them in the early spring. I'll show you guys that in some future videos, maybe in March. I had a little bit of an issue with my blanket flower. I had to dig up a few of them. They last about 5 or 6 years. They're not super long-lived perennials. They sometimes can get diseases, and there's several varieties, and I'm going to be getting some more seeds, and I'll show you guys some new varieties of blanket flower. So I'll just pan across. There's, a lot of things have gone past. These were just some lilies that I had moved from the front, another garden area that I moved back here. This is a perennial called a perennial alyssum, basket of gold, some more lady's mantle, a lot of daisies over here. The white flower in the front is alyssum. There's some more zinnias just scattered through here. I planted my zinnias very late this year, and August was especially cool and rainy, very unusually cool and rainy, so the zinnias didn't really grow much in August at all, and we've had a nice warm September, and we're in early October now. So this is this tall bush here is a crepe myrtle that bloomed last month. And down here, just a scattering of different perennials. There's this purple flower here is actually an annual that will drop its seed and rebloom, or regrow the following spring. So I really like it. It's called Ageratum, and it's supposed to repel mosquitoes. Apparently there's an agent, a chemical that's in this plant that is used in commercial mosquito repellent. And it does, if you get really close to it, it does have an odd kind of smell. I can't smell it from here, but if you get like really close to the flower, you can smell it. So it's supposed to repel mosquitoes, and we have a lot of mosquitoes in this part of the, we're near a driveway in the street, and for some reason, I think our neighbors have a pond, and it just attracts a lot of mosquitoes over here. So as you can see, there's a lot of leaves that have blown from overhead. There's a few trees. I've been trying to keep up with the garden, with the leaf, picking up the leaves, but it's really hard to do because it's just windy a lot here in the fall, and the leaves just blow in to the garden. So I'm kind of just letting the garden do its thing this fall, and I'll be cutting back a lot of the plants. This was brown-eyed Susan. It's finally gone past. It's It's the only plant that that seemed to, last week there were some aphids on it, but this summer I've been lucky. I haven't had aphids on any of my plants except for this one. And I see a very large insect on it. I don't know if that's just a large grasshopper. I'm going to try to zoom in to show you guys. I don't know if you can see that. I think that's just a big grasshopper there. But this plant bloomed a really long time. I did enjoy it very much. This is a catmint, and there's some more Maltese Cross. Now here is Dahlias. I love Dahlias. I actually don't buy a lot of plants from Lowe's or Home Depot because I've had not very much success with plants from those stores. That's sort of something I learned when I started gardening initially. I was buying plants from Lowe's and Home Depot instead of at gardening centers, and they were all dying on me, and that's why I started getting into seeds. I've had a lot more luck growing from seed. But anyway, this Dahlia was supposed to be a peach-colored Dahlia called Hawaii or Hawaiian, and it turned out to be red and white, and it does look lovely, especially from a distance. It has a nice tone to it, but I was expecting it to be a coral or peach color as shown in the photo on the package. So sometimes that happens when you buy plants. It's kind of, I've had that happen to me a couple times from purchasing products at Lowe's and Home Depot. So just be wary if you buy products from the big box stores. You don't always get what you're buying. And then this is another Dahlia that got nibbled on. Sorry for the shadowing. Got nibbled on by the deer all summer long, and it's starting to bloom. It looks like it may be the same variety. I'll come back over here to get rid of the shadowing here. So over here is sort of messy. It just looks like a big mess, but it's Liatris, which is a beautiful perennial with purple spikes. I moved a few of them, and a few of them dropped their seeds early in the spring, so I just let them kind of grow here. And this little evergreen tree was moved from elsewhere in the yard, and I may be moving it further back. We're right near the street right now. So this is sort of a hodgepodge right here of different plants. But as you can see, the yarrow was here. I had cut that back, and now we have some zinnias blooming. These are called State Fair. They're just beautiful. The butterflies just love them, and they come in all different colors, and they're about 4.5 feet tall right now. They can get up to 5 feet tall, and they're just such vivid colors. They do like water. Zinnias are probably one of the few flowers. Zinnias and Dahlias seem to appreciate water more than a lot of my other perennials that are drought tolerant. And they really do like the heat. They didn't grow much at all, as I said, in August because it was so cool. So generally I plant these in June. I really have to wait until it gets pretty warm to plant these zinnias. They really just do not like any kind of cool weather. So they're very pretty. They last a long time when you cut them. So they make great bouquets too. So I wish the butterflies were out so I could show you them. Maybe I'll do another video with all the butterflies, but the monarchs really love them. And this is called soapwort. I have that. It's a pink blooming perennial that I have blooming in the spring. It's just a mess right now with the leaves, but and then this is blanket flower. It's really pretty. Blanket flower blooms. It's probably my longest blooming flower. It will bloom from April until November. I mean, it just blooms and blooms. There's another lavender back there that hasn't rebloomed. It's a little bit shaded over here. There's a little tree here, so it may be just getting too much shade. So there was just a lot of yarrow over in this part of the yard. And then I cut down the peonies that were here. I showed those in an earlier video. There's some more catmint. And then this tree here is just an old dogwood tree. It's actually looking pretty nice now with the pink or red berries. And the leaves are changing. They're getting more of a purpley orange brownish tone. And then down here I have this area is partial shade. I'm going to be planting some new things here next spring, but this is called Jupiter's Beard, and it's been blooming on and off all summer. There was a monarch that I just showed you right there. The monarchs love it. Hummingbirds like it.